Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Ajnanathimirantasya Jnananjanaशलाकं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमामो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So in the 11th shloka, you are seeing that how the exclusive Krishna Katha is demanded, requested by Vidura to Maitreya. And then we saw also that how Krishna Katha is the only remedy for all people to situate in pure consciousness where they can be away from material bondage. So now we go to the text further. मुनिर्विवक्षु भगवद्गुणानां सखापि ते भारतमाह कृष्णः यस्मिन् नृणां ग्राम्यसुखानुवादैः मतिर्गृहीतानुहरे कथायाम्
Your friend, the great sage Krishnadharma Vyasa, has already described the transcendental qualities of Lord in his great work, the Mahabharata. But the whole idea is to draw the attention of the mass of people to Krishna Katha through their strong affinity for hearing mundane topics.
So this whole purport, Prabhupada writes about why the Mahabharata was written by Vyasadeva for these three types of people. Because Stri, Vaishya, Shudra, Trinam, it says that the Lord is agochara. Agochara means it is not understandable. They cannot perceive. That's why it says Tri Dvija Bandhuna Trinam Shruti Gochara. Agochara means it is not possible for them to understand Shruti. Shruti means Vedas, Upanishads, and the Vedanta Sutra. So they don't have the qualification to understand Vedanta Sutra, and that's how they need to understand first Mahabharata, and then indirectly then they will be come to the status of understanding Vedanta Sutra. Yeah. Then we come to the sloka number 13.
Okay.
Yes.
So we find that Narad Muni in the first canto, he chastises, not chastises, but like corrects Vyasadeva for not having.
Yeah.
Was Vyasadeva, like in one sense, was it proper for him to compose Mahabharata, or in the sense Mahabharata was composed for, as this verse describes,
Yeah.
women, Shudras, and so, like, was it proper on his part to compose Mahabharata?
No, it was very proper on his part to compose Mahabharata, but then there was some lacuna still remaining. So any material activity or even spiritual activity done in material sphere will have some lacuna. In that. Lacuna means some shortcoming. Some no, like that. Apurnatva will be always there. So that needs to be filled. So even when we are doing deity worship, even we are doing many other devotional activities also, that's how this Bhagavatam verse comes. Mantratastantrataschidram Deshakalarhavastutha Sarvam karoti nischidram Anu sankirtanam tava. So this is verse quoted by Shukracharya to Bali Maharaj. So Mamandev he is telling that you are. So Shukracharya says that even other processes of approaching the Lord will also have some sidra. Even the yajna will have some issues. So that's how when we chant Hare Krishna, all that things are taken care. So similarly Mahabharata also, it is good. So it is not the mistake, but it is not complete. It's like that.
So Srimad Bhagavatam fills that incomplete. Like that.
But
Second, like one more thing came in my mind. Like, when we go out for book distribution, many people ask, do you have Mahabharata? So in one sense, people of this age are like Sudras only. So Mahabharata is more meant for them than Gita.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah, so that's the difference when the pure devotees like Prabhupada, they comment on Bhagavatam. Then it becomes readily available even for Shudras. So Prabhupada was taking Bhagavatam and went to USA. He could have taken Mahabharata and gone to America to preach. They didn't do that. Why? Because the same topics of the Lord which are agochara can become gochara just by taking shelter of the pure devotee. That is possible. That is the fastest process rather. So Lord becomes immediately revealed to somebody who has taken shelter of the pure devotee of the Lord. So that is, they are in different category only. They are not ordinary living entities now. When they come in touch with pure devotee, they are immediately graduated from their above this Sri Shudra Jivabandhu level. That's all, because they have that touch with the pure devotee. Okay.
Srimad Bhagavatam. It means in commentaries they include all this subject matter, because of it is they can assess with this comment this Bhagavatam. Still pure devotee gives pure purport, irrespective of all this Mahabharata. In what sense they can relate? Normal people can relate.
So how the thing is, it's like a Bhagavatam describes that pure devotees, they are like a boat to cross over this ocean. And then when they take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, they create that atmosphere which acts like a boat to take them to other side of the ocean. So anybody who takes shelter of pure devotee, Lord becomes extra merciful to these conditioned souls, and then there is no papi tapi jatachilo parinami uddhari. That happens only when they are in touch with pure devotees. So the mercy of pure devotee elevates them from that condition.
From the condition of
Three Shudra Vijabandhu, this is one way, they are disqualified. They need Mahabharata. But if this three Shudra Vijabandhu plus spiritual master, then they are not of the category of Mahabharata. Now they have already elevated by the touch of spiritual master.
so by taking shelter their interest changes.
Their interest changes and Krishna's interest also changes in them. Till now they were third party to Krishna. Now they have become internal people. Now Krishna will be little extra merciful. Okay? So now we go to the 13th. सा शब्दधानस्य विवर्धमाना विरक्तिमन्यत्र करोति पुंसः हरे पदानुस्मृतिर्निवृत्तस्य समस्तदुःखाप्ययमाशु धत्ते Yes?
For one who is anxious to engage constantly in hearing such topics, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. Such constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay.
Say Sa Shraddhadhanasya. Shraddhadhanasya means? No.
Anxious.
Yeah. So Prabhupada writes here, anxious to hear. So anxious to hear is equivalent to Shraddha, or the faith. How one can say that, okay, he has a faith, he is anxious to hear. To the degree he is anxious to hear, to that degree he has faith in this way. So when somebody is hearing, what happens? The result is
समस्त दुख
yeah. So the result of hearing is given here. Viraktim anyatra karoti pumsaha. That one becomes detached. And then Harehe pada anusmriti. That he starts constant remembrance. And third thing, what happens? Samasta dukkhapi apyamasu, that the dukkha is removed from his life. So three things happen when somebody hears Krishna Katha with faith. First thing, detached. Second, constant remembrance of Krishna. And third, all miseries are removed. So then, when we are seeing here that Krishna Katha is there, then this result is obvious that one becomes detached, free of misery, and then he becomes attached to Krishna. Is now then, if we have to take our ISKCON scenario, so much Krishna Katha keeps happening, right? Every day Bhagavatam happens. Every day we keep hearing so many things. And so many special lectures keep happening. So much of data we have in our mobile and laptops. The whole directory is there. And so much things are there. So then why desired results are not coming?
Shraddha is like
Yeah, so then it is not only hearing makes you detached. It is Shraddha hearing. That one, we are anxious to hear, that means one is absorbed in hearing. That absorption makes the change of heart. That absorption makes the detachment. Not only just mechanical process of hearing. So, unless one is absorbed, we will not get the results. That's how in temple, in Bhagavatam class. In Bhagavatam class, Krishna is present. When Bhagavatam is spoken? Yes, no? Yeah. So, in Bhagavatam class, Krishna is present. Or in Bhakti Vaibhava also Krishna is present. But if we are absent mentally, then Krishna is present but we are not present. So then the desired result doesn't come. So both things has to be there. Krishna also has to be there and we also has to be there. Then when both are present, then something will happen. Otherwise not. So that shows that it is not just a material process. Just go and sit and hear. And then sound goes inside the ears and then some miracle will happen. No, not like that. So unless, okay, then how we see that somebody is eager to hear? What is the meaning of eager to hear?
Practice.
Huh?
He brings in his practice.
Okay. He makes sure that he gets more to hear. He makes a practice of hearing. What else?
Implementing in his life. Implementing in his life.
Example? What?
Develop everything like sadhana and
That's what I am telling, that there is a mechanical way of implementing and there is an absorbed way of implementing. What is the difference? So that Bhagavatam class everybody hears. They are implementing that one should hear Bhagavatam class every day. But that implementation has different level. Yes.
In absorbance hearing, there is ecstasy, and in mechanical hearing, there is no ecstasy.
Okay. So when somebody is absorbed, then he feels happy, nourished. Then he can feel that verse, that by every morsel one feels three things happen. Okay, good. Anything else?
Like you said, so first we have to present, then able to hear.
Yeah.
How, what mean that present? How can has to be present there, then second thing comes to here actually. So, that how can we present that?
Yeah, so that's why they say that first, before becoming Krishna conscious, we have to be conscious. कि यहाँ पे कृष्ण कथा चल रहा है. Then what things are to be done that we should do. So when we are talking about being present means not only physically but mentally. For example, we are supposed to be present mentally at the time of japa in the morning. It means that you should sleep early. It means that you should take light prasad at night. It means that you tell others that in case I feel sleepy, you make sure that you wake me up. It means that in time to time, if I pray in between, that will enhance my chanting Hare Krishna. It means that you are observing how is my chanting going on, whether it's going on track, out of track. So these are all things needed for absorption. So absorption is not only possible for somebody who is like liberated in bhava and stage like that. No. Even a person who is struggling can be absorbed to struggle. He is like absorbed in struggle. So Krishna will be very happy to see you absorbed, either in struggle or in Krishna's pastimes. Both are absorption only. So that is what being present means. Anybody else? Yes.
So two things, Prabhu. His service attitude will increase, and his anarthas will decrease if he is anxiously hearing.
Yeah, so that is the result. But I am telling what we should do
To
increase our absorption.
absorption, to anxiously hear. Service.
Okay, service. If that supports that hearing, okay.
Affinity to hear the katha comes from serving the Vaishnavas. When their mercy comes, then we do.
Yeah.
So we are not prepared to serve Vaishnavas, then the affinity will not come.
Yeah. So that Mahat Seva also helps getting the taste for hearing.
And from hearing also, Prabhu, like anxiety of hearing increases. Just like in Bhagavatam, hearing is glorified again and again, so we become more anxious to hear.
Yeah. So when we hear the glories of hearing, then you become anxious to hear. Okay. So these are the ways by which we become anxious, not just.
Hare Krishna. Some speakers we are anxious. For some speakers we are like neutral. And sometimes we are okay, let it be. वही बताने वाले हैं. You know. So this is our different opinions regarding according to the speakers based upon our previous experiences.
Yeah.
What we heard from them. So this is what can like this is not actually an excess hearing, or this comes under which category?
So this is some type of contamination which need to be removed. So when we are going for Bhagavatam, we are not going for speaker. We are going for Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam, however it is spoken, it purifies. So it is like somebody may not give Bhagavatam very high class. Somebody may be junior to the hearer. Somebody may, but then if hearer is very anxious, the hearer will make more advancement than the speaker. So this is a spiritual thing. It is nothing material about it.
When we say hearing from the pure devotee, it cleanses our heart. So let's suppose in our condition, when sub sannyasi is giving, senior Vaishnava is giving, so we are more attentive in that class.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But someone who is not like, just like among ourselves, someone is giving, then we are not much more attentive.
Yeah, so we should be attentive because Prabhupada told to be attentive in every day. Bhagavad class. Prabhupada didn't say that you be attentive only in pure devotees class. Prabhupada says नित्यम भागवत सेवन है. वो नित्यम में सब लोग आएंगे, प्योर डिवोटी भी आएंगे, कुछ कुछ.
And that will bring the same result.
That will bring the same result. Depending on his eagerness. Yeah.
Generally, a typical question comes that language is a barrier
Mhm.
to hear and understand the Krishna Katha.
Yeah.
Then how it affects the person and the hearer. Suppose somebody comes and sits in front of lecture, doesn't understand English. We say still we hear it's a pure devotee words,
Yeah.
with interest,
Yeah.
something transformation will be there. We say
Yes.
so.
Yes. Yes.
But if their ears are not filled with the Prabhupada words,
Mhm.
just mechanically it goes inside, but how it affects?
So that's what, na. It is not just mechanical. Now, somebody who doesn't understand English and then he is hearing Prabhupada's English, Bhagavatam class. There also can be two categories. One, he just sits there because we have told him to sit. He just waiting कब ये खत्म हो गया है, कुछ समझ भी नहीं रहा है. बोला है अभी बैठना पड़ेगा, प्रश्न तो अभी चालू नहीं हुआ है, तो साढ़े 9 तक तो टाइम पास करना ही है. And then in that mood he is sitting there. Other person is sitting that I am not able to understand anything, but this is very pure sound vibrations, let it go. I don't know the meaning of it, but it is very purifying. And then he sits there with that. He will get very much benefited. So, that's how the thing is, that it is not mechanical process. The Krishna will reciprocate, that Bhagavatam will reciprocate, the sound vibration will reciprocate according to that person's mentality.
That means to make them to sit in the class even though they doesn't understand, is it a right way to deal with that situation? Or?
No, how the thing is, we have to see the capacity of that person also. If somebody is there and only one Bhagavatam is there and that is only of Prabhupada and that also in English only, and then somebody you can tell that, okay, suno, no problem, don't worry. But every day he has to do that, and that is not his capacity. Then you have to tell him that, okay, you hear Hindi class now, or Telugu class now. It's like that. So that is dependent on his capacity.
Chanting is not mechanical. What is this mechanical? Like,
Mechanical means by good chanting we cannot attract Krishna. Just by good pronunciation and focusing our mind on Krishna, that is not sufficient to invoke Krishna's mercy. Why? Because pronunciation is material quality. Concentration is a material quality. You can't capture Krishna with your sensory activities. Because some people are naturally very concentrated. Even if they watch movie, they will be very concentrated. So that activity of concentration doesn't invoke Krishna to appear. What appears is that you are begging, Krishna becomes pleased, and then he comes. And sometimes Krishna may come and sometimes may not come also for the same person. So that's up to him. So mercifully Krishna appeared to Narad Muni once and then he disappeared and he didn't come again. That's what it is, it's not mechanical. So Krishna reserves the right with himself to be revealed or not. So that's all. Okay. We'll go to next. Next sloka.
14.
Yeah. तच्चोच्च शोचानविदो शोचे
शोच्यानविदो नुशोचे
हरे कथायां विमुखानघेन क्षिणोति देवो निमिषस्तु येषाम् वायुर्वृथावाद्गतिस्मृतीनाम्
O sage, person who because of their sinful activities are aware of the topic of transcendence and thus ignorant of the purpose of the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, are pitied by the pitiable. I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time, while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculations, theoretical ultimate goals of life, and different modes of ritual.
Yeah. So here this pitiable are used. So there are three people. He says that person who because of their sinful activities are averse to the topics of transcendence. That is the first personality. Krishnasya Vimukhasya. No, that is the first person. So this person is pitied by pitiable. So this pitiable, Acharya described that this is impersonalist. When the impersonalists, they see karmis, they feel that these are useless people. They don't understand that we have to go and do mukti. And then he says, I also pity both of them. Because here I means who? Vidura or the Maitreya. So when they see this both type of people, those who are worthy of pity and then those who are seeing them pitiable, the karmis and gyanis, both are seen with pity by a pure devotee. I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time while they involve themselves in presentation of philosophical speculation, theoretical ultimate goals of life, and different modes of rituals. So the life is spoiled because of the miscalculation of the process and the sadhya. So when these two things are not properly understood, which Bhagavatam gives, and then so much of speculation and so this is the last line, it says theoretical ultimate goal of life. That is the third thing. Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. So Prayojana and the different modes of rituals, the process. So when there is a confusion regarding the process and the goal, then so much of speculation goes on. And then the life is spoiled in that. So in this shloka, this both type of people are described. One is the sinful people who are, and other people are people who are pure devotees. So both, so people who are to be pitied and those who are above such pitiable situation, both are there. Yeah. In the Acharya also says that these are the some people are sinful, that is the first category. Second, people, they are not sinful. Mayavadis, not Mayavadis, this Brahmavadis and things like that. They are ignorant about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the ultimate goal. And they also come in the same category. So like
So Prabhu, this pitied by the pitiable, what is the meaning of this? Who are
they themselves become the object of pity of somebody, and then he is pity, feeling pity about others.
So these people who are ignorant of the purpose of Mahabharata, they are pitied by the pitiable. Those pitiables are these people, philosophical speculation, voodoo and theoretical.
So the karmis are,
Pitiables.
when the impersonalists see karmis, they feel sorry. And when pure devotees see impersonalists, they feel sorry. They're wasting it. It's like that. So here it says that how the duration of life is spoiled by eternal time. He said, Chinoti Devo Animishes to Yesha, that the powerful sword of time is cutting the life slowly, one by one. But then we see that when the process, when the things are not very clear, somebody like here says that different types of rituals and they are lost in that different goals of life. Karmi, Gyanis, they feel that the goal of life is to go to heaven. And then that's how they are spoiled. The Gyanis, they feel that just mukti is sufficient. And that's how they are spoiling their life. The yogis, they feel that just getting some control, that is the goal of life. And that's how they are spoiling their life. So the time is cutting them and robbing them like that. And nowadays this kind of wasting time has become, by the support of Maya, it has gone to different level only. Previously people used to do Prajalpa like, they will sit and then I have seen afternoon some Matajis will come in some home and then 2-3 hours they will do. That is a regulative principle every day, that they have to spend that much time. Drinking tea 2-3 times in between, and then things goes on. For no good reason, but they want to spend that time. But now with the help of internet and other things, the Prajalpa has gone to the different level only. You can involve the whole world into Prajalpa. Like that. With one click, the whole world is talking about it, hearing it, like that. So it has advanced Prajalpa. This is because of the technology. Everything is just do the click and then you feel that you are doing something great. At least when you are doing time pass, you know that you are doing time pass. But when you are doing that time pass with technology, you feel that you are doing great things for the benefit of the whole world. It's like that. So that's the problem. So even the Prajalpa is given a very high status in society. And then the goal is also spoiled. People feel that just be happy, either here or in heaven or whatever.
What we should do in an ashram also, same thing happens with you. This Prajalpa and internet is cancer eating other people. So how we can protect ourselves with what systems, what individual purities we can create.
Actually, our human energy is spoiled when we become addicted. When we are overpowered by the influence of this kind of gadgets. This comes in, ahead it comes. That's how the process starts. So this Mahatattva, which is like a thing which is like unmanifested things, which is the cause of further creation, that is considered the mode of ignorance, because it has nothing that we'll see later. So it has a great capacity, but no direction, nothing is there. And that's how it is considered in the mode of ignorance. So similarly, I was hearing that all the gadgets, whether it's mobile, laptop, whatever, they come all in the mode of ignorance. More you associate with them, we come in the mode of ignorance. Like one may feel, oh, this is like, we become active. It looks like it's a passion. It is not passion, it's ignorance. So when we are too much dealing with it, then the ego is satisfied on different levels, like that. The way somebody does lot of punya and then goes to become Indra, and then because he is now Indra, he can choose apsaras. He says, okay, dance. That apsara dance. He says, nahi, dusra apsara dance. So same thing happens here. Second, third, you have to just click and then next apsara comes. Right. So we feel that Indra feeling, that I can choose what to hear, what to see, which dance to. So that feeling of Indra is boosted by these gadgets. And that's how they spoil the whole human energy. When it is used, that is okay. But then it becomes, and that is the nature of that gadgets, that they pull you down to their level when you associate.
Now the maximum reading are done on laptop only because of storing place, make notes. So what we can do is associating ignorance.
It is always better to read it in book form. Always better. So it is like a good use of bad bargain. But that cannot be the highest. You can say that because I am not able to do this, I am doing this, that's okay. But when there is a chance, then we should read this. So it's like that. Unless there is emergency or need, we go back to the way. And we can see also the absorption what you can have in the book cannot be compared to the absorption in laptop. It's not. It has, because, for example, if this is there and then you place it at wrong place, how you feel? Like if you are putting Bhagavatam in your bag, will you keep your old clothes or things like that with that? Okay. But if laptop is there, you will not mind keeping unwashed clothes in that. So that same feeling is not there. So that's how that thing doesn't come when it goes to get it. Like that. Okay, next. 15, na?
Yes.
तदस्य कौशारवशर्मदातु हरे कथामेव कथासु सारम् उद्धृत्य पुष्पेभ्य इवार्तबन्धो शिवाय नः कीर्तय तीर्थकीर्तेः
O Maitreya, O friend of the distressed, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord.
Yeah. So this talks that Sharmadhatu. Sharmadhatu means one who awards the good fortune to the masses. Hare Katham Eva, not only Hari Katha. Saram. Saram means essence. So the Artha Bandhu, that those who are troubled, and Krishna is their Bandhu, the friend. And this Artha Bandhu also is used for devotees who are relieving the distress of the common people. Shivaya. Shivaya means the greatest welfare, auspicious. So here he's telling that please tell which is the essence. Don't tell so many other things. Why he's telling like that? Because he knows that Maitreya also is very greatly learned, and then he had so many things to share. But then he says that you may have so many things to share, but please don't share. Just share essence, because I don't have time. So without wasting time, he says that just share the essence. Text 16. So now when Vidura is telling that, tell me essence, and essence is Krishna Katha. So there will be an automatic question to in the mind of Maitreya, that okay, even that essence is like ocean. So which part of ocean you want? It's like Krishna Katha also is oceanic. So then he tells that in that ocean, this side of the ocean I want to taste. Text 16. Savishvajanma sthiti sanyamarthe Tatavataraha pragruhita shaktihi Chakara karmanyati purushani Yanishvara kirtayatani mahyam.
Kindly chant all those superhuman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the Personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation.
So there he starts now. I want to hear Krishna Katha, starting with description of Purusharavatas. So how Krishna expands himself in these Purusharavatas, that you start like that. So now the 17th to 21st, that is the Maitreya Rishi honored Vidura and expressed gratitude. So till now, the Maitreya is hearing as a senior person sitting, and Vidura is glorifying Krishna Katha, glorifying Maitreya, telling that please let the Krishna Katha flows from your lotus mouth, purify myself and everybody in this world. Now the turn is of Maitreya Muni. So Maitreya Muni doesn't say that, oh very nice, sit, I'll tell you. So Maitreya starts glorifying Vidura, telling that I am so fortunate that you have come and then I'll be able to speak Krishna Katha. So both are in grateful mode. That person who is hearing is grateful that I am able to hear, and person who is speaking also is grateful that I am able to serve in this way. So that happens here now, 17th onwards. Text 17. श्रीशुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
स एवं भगवान् पृष्टः
एवं भगवान् पृष्टः
तत्र कौशारवो मुनिः
कौशारवो मुनिः
पुंसां हि निश्चयस्यार्थेन तमाहु बहुमानयन्.
Sukdev Goswami said, the great sage Maitreya Muni, after honoring Vidura very greatly, began to speak. At Vidraj's request for the greatest welfare of all people.
Yeah. So, which is considered the greatest welfare of all workers? Because everybody may have their own understanding of what is the greatest welfare. If you go and ask any NGO person, he will say that giving the food, that is the greatest welfare work. You go and ask somebody, he said that treating the dogs and cats, that is the greatest welfare work. Somebody says, this is the greatest welfare, this is the greatest welfare. To whom to consider that authority? So the pure devotees who are in line with Krishna. Now this Maitreya Rishi is in line with, because he is in connection with the Lord himself, because he has heard from the Lord personally. So, let me see what he has to say. Call him 10 times. Tell me that something that is not urgent. What we are discussing?
In line with Krishna.
Yeah. So, everybody may have their own understanding of what is welfare, greatest welfare. But here, Maitreya Muni, who is direct recipient of the mercy of Krishna, is talking about what is the greatest welfare. So, we give the preference to his understanding of the welfare activity. And then he is telling that the greatest welfare service is propagating Krishna consciousness, propagating Krishna Katha. Yes?
In the 16th sloka, the purport, Prabhupada writes, Vidura is giving a hint to Maitreya that he could not decide which part of it is Krishna.
Yeah. Confirm, come this way, Sudhir.
So it seems here Vidura is not very clear which part of the Krishna Katha.
Huh?
In the
Yeah. So?
It seems that Vidura is not very clear what he wants to hear.
No. This hint was given by Vidura to Maitreya, thinking that Maitreya may be in confusion that what I want to hear in Krishna Katha. So he is guiding Maitreya Muni that I want to hear about Purushavataras. It is not a confusion of Vidura. It is a Vidura is imagining that Maitreya may be in confusion. So let me give him proper topic to speak.
Maitreya is thinking.
Vidura is thinking
Vidura is thinking.
that I should give proper topic so that he speak on the topic. If I don't give topic, he will speak here and there. So like that.
But in the previous discussions, we heard Prabhuji that Krishna's pastimes, narrating Krishna's pastimes, is a pure Krishna Katha.
Yes, yes.
This Virat form, creation, it's all not so
Keep it.
Krishna Katha. Previously, these all helps to purify us, helps to go to more.
Yeah. So any Krishna Katha is powerful, but then the Krishna Katha which can give some relevance depending on his situation, then that type of Krishna Katha has to be given to him.
So in all these Puranas, Vishnu Puran, Brahmanda Purana, this Purushavataras are not described.
They are described now. At different places, this creation comes as a discussion. That's possible. That's how even in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Krishna's actual pastime comes in 10th canto, not in 1st canto. So even the Bhagavatam, which is Amala Purana, there also Krishna Katha comes, the pure Krishna Katha comes in the end only almost.
Because here Vidura is asking so intensely this question, I want only Krishna Katha. Now 10th canto chapter should be coming here.
So that's how Prabhupada writes in one of the purport that Vidura's queries are for the common man. Right? At one place, Prabhupada. Huh? Yeah, so like that. So if there was a powerful sage like Maitreya, and then Vidura is also powerful, actually they can go ahead with Krishna's pastimes. He can just ask, how is Krishna? What Krishna told you in the end? Can you just tell about that? But just because to give benefit to us, he is asking on our behalf. Right? He doesn't need it. So he will be more happy to hear direct pastimes, but for us he is taking that stand. Clear? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Text 18. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Sadhu Prishtam Tvaya Sadho.
Sadhu Prishtam Tvaya Sadho.
Lokan Sadhvanu Grushnata.
Lokan Sadhvanu Grushnata.
Kirtim Vitanmata Loke.
Kirtim Vitanmata Loke.
Atmano Dhokshajatmanah.
Atmano Dhokshajatmanah.
Sri Maitreya said, O Vidura, all glories unto you. You have inquired from me of the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in the thought of the transcendence. Maitreya Muni was experienced in the science of transcendence, would understand that Vidura's mind was fully absorbed in the transcendence. Adokshaya means that which transcends the limits of sense perception or sensuous experience.
Yeah. So here he says that Lord is Adokshaya, that he cannot be pursued by the senses. And Vidura is completely fixed, absorbed in that which is transcendental, which has made him also transcendental. So he is telling that Lord is Adokshaya, and then you are with the Lord, which is Adokshaya. So you are also above all worldly things. So he says, all glory to you. And then he says that you have inquired from me of the greatest of goodness, thus you have shown me your mercy. So now here, the speaker is glorifying the hearer, that you are so merciful. So like that. And that's how we see that every Acharya feels like that. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami first take the dust of all the hearers of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says, by your mercy I'll be able to speak something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the way the speaker always do. So we can see that when we are also preaching Krishna consciousness, we also should be in the same mood. That we are getting help, not that we have incarnated to deliver the fallen conditioned souls in youth program. So not like that. We are. I'll never forget, because I heard from that devotee. He was telling that every weekly program he used to go in train, taking bucket of halwa for 10 kilometers. And he said that it was so difficult catching the train with that halwa and going to that station, get down, then catch auto and then go. And sometimes he said that sometimes assistant was there, sometimes many times assistants was not there. So alone you have to go and give the class. But then he said that in that class, people were coming, going. It was like, but then he said that one person was always coming. For that one person, I continued for 15 years for that program. And then he said that one person is this only. So that is the right mood of giving class.
It is difficult, I feel not.
No, of course, many people used to come for this class. He was just telling. Does that make
So surely some devotees will become from that.
But it will happen with us then. Authority will tell, change your service.
No, that's what, nah. It depends. If the authorities will change, then will change.
That one person will still be there, Prabhu,
Ah,
in other service also.
Yeah.
So, we see, I see.
There are some, many times it happens when we give lecture, that there should be at least 1 or 2 members who should ask questions, comment at the end. So the hearer, the speaker feels appreciated, felt nourished. If there are no questions and comments, if there is even question or comment, even somebody gives comment, then he gets opportunity to speak more. He comments on the comments. So the lecture goes for hours and hours. So because I see, my condition is, there is a tendency that he wants to speak. And he didn't got opportunity to speak for a long time. So he got opportunity now to speak. So can we consider this as a good spirit of preaching?
Yeah. So, it is always very nice to give question, ask question and give comment. But then the questions has to be, question and comment has to be relevant. So that it goes in good direction. Right? So, yeah.
From the preacher's perspective.
From the preacher's perspective also. So generally, we have seen also sometimes, once somebody was asking something out of the topic, Prabhupada put him, like cut him down, he said that, Jo lecture ho pucho. And sometimes he may accept that and then go ahead with that also. It depends on the preacher. But the principle is this, that it has to be relevant.
Can we see this as a spiritual dissatisfaction? That I spoke sufficiently, but there is no one who commented, questioned. So at the end of the class, spiritual.
So he is satisfied that I did service of speaking. And then I am dissatisfied, so next time I will surely come again when the time comes. So it's like that. So that dissatisfaction doesn't mean immediately that he has to extend the class by 1 hour. The dissatisfaction should continue, give him inspiration to come for next class. Now we go to Naitachitram Tvai Kshattah
चित्रं त्वयि क्षत्रः
बादरायण वीर्यजे गृहीतोऽनन्य भावेन यत्त्वया हरिरीश्वरः.
O Vidura, it is not at all wonderful that you have so accepted the Lord through deviation of thought, for you were born from the semen Vyasadeva.
Yeah, so he is telling that you are glorious because you asked very pertaining, very auspicious question. Now his second point of his glorification is that your father is glorious, Vyasadeva, and because your father is glorious, it's obvious that you are also glorious because of your lineage. And then he says that in the purport, Prabhupada talks about the Garbhadan Sanskar and then how the population has to be pure. In the end, Prabhupada writes, the problem is not to check the growth of population, but to generate good population on the level of Vidura, Vyasa and Maitreya. There is no need to check the growth of population if the children are born as human beings with all precautions regarding their birth. That he says that there is no need to check the growth of population if the children are properly done all the samskaras and things like that. So-called birth control is not only vicious but also useless. So he says that the birth control, what goes on the name of birth control nowadays, that is just a mechanical way of increasing one's tendency to enjoy without taking responsibility. So that is considered irresponsibility. That is considered sin. That if somebody is enjoying without responsibility, like that. Yeah. Go to the text 20.
Vicious? How it is not vicious?
Huh?
How it is not only vicious, not only but useless.
It is vicious also and useless also.
What is vicious?
Vicious means
Ill-motivated.
huh. It has a some khatarnak type.
Malicious.
Malicious, ill-motivated, dangerous like that. Text 20. मांडव्यशापात् भगवान् मांडव्यशापात् भगवान् प्रजा संयमनो यमः भ्रातुः क्षेत्रे भुजिष्यायाम् प्रातः सत्यवती सुतात्.
I know that you are now Vidura due to the cursing of Mandavya Muni, and that formerly you were King Yamaraj, the great controller of living entities after their death. You were begotten by the son of Satyavati Vyasadeva, in the kept wife of his brother.
Yeah. So he is tracing back the history. That one history is that he is the son of Vyasadeva. Another great history of Vidura is that he is Yamaraj. So he is telling that I know that you are Yamaraj, have come here for special purpose. And then you are like one of the 12 Mahajanas who is very close to Krishna, you are the Parshad of Krishna, and then you have come as a very special birth. So that's how he is glorifying. So we see that when somebody is doing glory in his life, the glory is credited to his past lineage. Right? And even when somebody is doing bad, that also is traced back. Like for example, Maharaj Anga was very devoted king, but then his son became very vicious because of mother side. Mother was daughter of Nritya, so she had some. So mother side, she got some extra. Like that. So then Prabhupada writes in the purport that how the Vichitra gets that whole history. Prabhupada writes how the Vidura was born. Like that. Okay, text 21. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Sammatah Sanugasyaha Yasya Jnanopadeshaya Marishad Bhagavan Rajan.
Your good selves. Your good self is one of the eternal associates of Supreme Personality of Godhead, for whose sake the Lord, while going back to his abode, left instruction with me.
So he is telling that you are eternal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are so special that at the time of departure of Krishna, Krishna was remembering you. So you can imagine how thrilled Vidura must have felt that amongst all his devotees, Krishna was remembering Vidura when he was departing from this world. And this was known to whom? Maitreya. Because he was there that time when the Lord was departing. Yeah. So here we see that the glorification done by the speaker for the audience. So this from 17 to 21, that is the Maitreya honoring Vidura. So here we see that Vidura is asking question on our behalf, and then he is responding. And here we can see that the both things are important. As one question came that if Krishna Katha is there, why so much now wasting time in little indirect Krishna Katha? One may feel that this is little Purushavatara, this, that, maybe little indirect Katha, Krishna Katha. Why not Vrindavan Leela directly? Starting from Putana and then Punavatara. But then we see that at our stage, both are important. That's how we see, for example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is coming now, Gaur Purnima. We discuss both the three reasons of his appearance. Three are internal reasons and three are external reasons. Which is more important? Both are important. Internally, Krishna wanted to do that. That is more important. But we still also emphasize external reasons because that is relevant to us. Every yuga he comes and establishes the yuga dharma and things like that. So, although for Krishna, actually he comes for internal reasons, but external reasons are important for us. So we also are very carefully understand them. Like, yes.
I have a question regarding this 20th verse. Here Vidura is aware of his true self, that he is Yamaraj.
Now he's reminded by
Regarding this question is that when the associates of the Lord they come for pastime sake, they are aware of their original position, or by the modes of material they forget for the time.
They are not in the modes of material nature. For sure, they are not in the mode of material nature.
Just like,
But
for example, the associates, demigods, they came for the fasting purpose in the Yadu dynasty. But before Krishna is living, he thought, let them finish here.
yeah. So the thing is that Krishna and Krishna's eternal associates, they never come under three modes. Sometimes they may show that they are forgetful of their relationship, but that also comes under Yogamaya, not Mahamaya. So it's like that. So that is just because the Lord wants them to do like that. That's what they do. Nothing, Mahamaya cannot touch them. So in here case also, when the Yamaraj is coming down, we cannot say that he has influenced by three modes. He is completely in sync with Krishna, and Krishna is taking care of him. Krishna is molding his life, his activities, words, in that. So that is Yoga Maya working, not Mahamaya.
Here Krishna kept instructions for Vidura so that he can get these instructions. That is the glory in Tracy.
Yeah.
So even similarly Narottam Das Thakur, the Prema was kept in Patna. So yesterday one devotee was asking me that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the dream, there is a deity, go and get it. So can we consider ourselves that Krishna has, he has kept this instruction for all of us so that we can come and pick up and become devotees? We are these days.
Which instructions?
It's Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
So we can consider that.
Actually, we can see in our life also that every one of us will have that how Krishna has guided us when we had so many paths. Somehow we chose one path, and then that's how we landed in Krishna consciousness. When we chose that path, sometimes we may be thinking, "Arey, this is a very wrong path I chose, unfortunately." But then Krishna knew what is fortunate and what is unfortunate, and that's how Krishna has guided us till now here. Like that. So each one of us, we can see Krishna's hand in our own life. We don't have to go to some very mystical, mysterious things like that. So it's like that.
We are also
disciplined.
That regions for Lord's appearance, internal region and external region. So it is just with the Mahaprabhu or like internal region? In every avatara, Lord is having some kind of internal region.
Internal reason is this only, to give access to the conditioned souls. That is his always internal status. Like that. When Ram is coming, he is coming to kill Ravana, but he is also coming to give that Ramayana for the conditioned souls.
Giving Ramayana is the internal. Like Narasimha Devi come like just to get worship. No internal. Like we don't want me. We don't want to experience that furious. Lord wanted to experience anger or something like that.
Right? Acharyas will tell us something internally there. It's like that. Okay. So we go to the text 22nd. So this 22nd to 31st. So this is the Purushavatarans. Because this 22nd to 38, that is Maitreya Rishi explaining the process of creation. 22nd to 38. And then after 39 starts the prayers by the demigods. So the first in that 22nd to 31, that is Purushavaras. Text 22nd. अतते भगवल्लीला
अतते भगवल्लीला
योगमायोरुबृंहिता विश्वस्थित्यद्भुता विश्वस्थित्युद्भवान्तार्था
विश्वस्थित्युद्भवान्तार्था
वर्णयाम्यानुपूर्वशः
I shall therefore describe to you the pastimes by which the personality of Godhead extends, His transcendental potency for the creation, maintenance and dissolution of the cosmic world as they occur one after another.
So here directly responding to third question. Mitra is responding directly to third inquiry. First two inquiries.
It is like interwoven. As we go ahead, we'll see that even this description, what he is giving is, this comes under the Krishna Katha only, which is, his first question was that we are suffering and what is the real happiness. So the real happiness is Krishna Katha. And then Krishna Katha, what you want to hear? Purushavaras.
It seems like Mitra asked and he only gave the answer.
Yeah. Okay. So here the he's telling, I shall therefore describe to you the pastime by which the personality of Godhead extends his transcendental potency for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution. So as we see that this kind of creation thing has been described 3-4 places in Bhagavatam, and then every discussion has some theme, like the way the different places Lord shows his Vishwarup. How many? Bhagavad Gita once he shows. Duryodhana he shows. Yashoda he shows. So the theme of that is different. It is not same Vishwarup. The theme is different. So similarly here also, when the discussion is there of creation, theme is different. So here the theme is the Lord is the cause of all causes. How, when we are living in this world, we understand that the Lord is there behind, so that the conditioned soul come one step ahead from their independence to feel dependence on Krishna, who is invisibly present behind all the facilities. So that is the focus here.
I think in the second canto also there is a description about Virat form.
Yeah.
There is same thing. Same.
Yeah.
These three Virat forms, what are the different things?
Next thing comes in our Devahuti Samvad. Also some description is there. So there he is talking about how the conditioned soul is trapped in this world by giving the whole description. So there is little difference in things. So here, now that he starts discussing the answers. Text 23. भगवानेक आसेद अग्र आत्मात्मना विभुः आत्मेच्छानुगतात्मा नानामत्युपलक्षणः.
The personality of Godhead, the master of all living entities, existed prior to the creation as one without a second. It is by His will only that creation is made possible, and again everything emerges in Him. The Supreme Self is symptomized by different names.
Yeah. So here, now he has started describing even what is there before creation also. So now he is telling that before creation only the Lord was there and nothing was there. So this Ase Agra. So that shloka comes from Chatushlok. Aham eva samevagre. That thing. So why he is telling like that? To tell that Lord is not part of His own creation. Lord is beyond the creation. He creates it and still He remains aloof from it.
Can you just repeat that? What is the theme of this group?
The theme of this is to understand that Krishna is the cause of all causes. And then we understand the presence of Krishna behind all the facilities which He has provided through this varieties of incarnations, these, that, and that. So here he wants to state this, that Lord is beyond. So even before creation He was there. Even before dissolution He was there. Even before maintenance He was there. So He is the original, and then creation and other things came later. Yeah, so this whole verse talks about the situation before creation. Purport Prabhupada writes, the followers of Mayavada school sometimes screw out an imaginary explanation of the original 4 verses. But one must accept the actual explanation given herein by Maitreya Muni. So then ahead he says, here Aham is explained as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not the individual living entity. Because the Mayavad conception of that Aham Eva Samevagre is that Aham means they feel that I was there before creation. I means that soul was there. He's telling that it's not soul, it's super soul. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here the Bhagavan is expressed as Vibhu. Vibhu means great. Anu means small. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that this Vibhu also means a master, and then others are subordinate. So he's just making that difference very clear. And then he makes sure that if you see ahead here, the Shrutis also that is confirmed. Vasudevo va idam agra asit na brahma na cha shankaraha eko vai narayana asit na brahma na ishanaha. That nobody was there, neither the Brahma was there, neither Shankara was there, nobody was there. Even the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, they were also not there. They all came later on. And in the end, last line you can see that, as explained in Bhagavad Gita 9:7, the material creation takes place at intervals by the will of the Lord, and in the period between dissolution and next creation, the living entities and the material energy remain dormant in Him. So, the
Vibhu point where it is mentioned? Vibhu point.
Vibhu is the master of all.
The purport.
Yeah, he says here the personality of God is described herein as the master of all living entities. He is like sun disk, and living entities are like molecules. So, Prabhupada describes Vibhu as the master. text 24. Sava esha tada drashta Apashyat drishyamekarat Mene santamivatmanam Supta shaktira supta druk
The Lord, the undisputed proprietor of everything, was the only seer. The cosmic manifestation was not present at that time, and thus he felt imperfect without his plenary and separate part and parcels. The material energy was dormant, whereas the internal potency was manifested.
Yeah, so here the transcendental feelings of the Lord is described. That is feeling imperfect because he is not having anybody to reciprocate with. Although he is Atmaram, he doesn't need anybody to reciprocate. He can reciprocate with himself and be completely satisfied. But still, he feels that if there is somebody, it will be nice. So that is just because of his compassion, not because of his incapability. So it is a compassion, not his imperfection. What is this compassion? The compassion is to give another chance to living entity stuck in this material world. He feels that okay, let us make new creation and give one more chance to this conditioned soul. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport very nicely, the cosmic manifestation gives the conditioned soul a chance to go back home, back to Godhead. And that is its main purpose. So the main purpose of creation is not to punish conditioned souls, it is to relieve the conditioned souls. So that is the actual purpose. So in this creation, conditioned soul is put under birth and death so that he can be freed from birth and death gradually. Ahead, Prabhupada writes that he gives one analogy that a husband may have 2-3 wives and then other wives are doing nice service and reciprocating with him nicely. But then one wife is sleeping. So then he may compassionately wake that wife to give her so many other services so that there is some reciprocation. So that is the analogy Prabhupada gives. It is the compassion of the Lord for the sleeping energy that he wants to see her awaken for enjoyment like the other wives who are awake. In the last Prabhupada writes, since the Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha, he likes every part and parcel of his different potencies to take part in the blissful rasa. Because participation with the Lord in his eternal Ras Leela is the highest living condition, perfect in spiritual bliss and eternal knowledge. So the ultimate goal is all conditioned soul goes in Ras Leela. So they take admission in Ras Leela. That is the final thing. But to reach there, they have to understand Srishti Leela first, and then they are promoted to Ras Leela. Why like that? Because we are contaminated by false ego. So that false ego is washed off slowly, and then that is gradually come to the real ego that I am servant of Krishna. In one night that doesn't happen. That I think that I am master and then next day morning you feel that I am servant of Krishna. It doesn't happen like that. Even after being brahmachari, it's so difficult to understand that we are servant of Krishna. What to speak of then? So that means we understand what is false ego And we understand also our incapability to give it. So that much strong it is. Yeah. Like you understand that teacher laga hai and this is not good, I need to wash it. But you feel so attached to that teacher that you don't want to put water also. Feel that thoda रुको कल करते इतना जल्दी नहीं. So that's the problem with conditioned soul, that I still remember one. So in one of the class, one sannyasi was telling that many devotees were sitting. He said, "What is false ego?" He said, "I don't know, in this August assembly, even 2-3 people are there who can actually understand what is false ego." Like that he said. You were sitting. We even don't know what is false ego. So it's like, so false ego itself is a big thing. What we consider ourselves is, that is it itself is false ego. The real ego is quite different. So we consider ourselves still a brahmachari, a man, controller, preacher, this, that. So much is there without keeping Krishna in center. So false ego is very, very strong. It's not so easy. Sometimes it appears that it has gone. To be realized that next day again it comes. It's like that. It appears almost gone now. Yeah.
Prabhu, in this, what sometimes the this sleeping condition is of, this is used for illusory energy, and sometimes it is used for the living entities.
Yeah, both. Both are energy of Krishna. One is external energy and another is tatastha.
So this wife example is giving for illusory energy or the sleeping condition soul?
Both. It's energy. He wants to engage his external energy also, and he wants to engage the conditioned souls also.
I should not identify myself as a brahmachari, but to act as a brahmachari.
Yeah.
It's difficult, not to when you give our identity to someone, so we give what we are actually. So not to identify again with that.
No. It is like they say na that कांटे से कांटा निकालना. एक कांटा ऑलरेडी अंदर घुसा है, तो भी कितना भी ट्राई करेंगे नहीं निकलेगा वो. दूसरा कांटा लेना पड़ता है, फिर वो कांटे से थोड़ा लेकर के उसको बाहर निकालते हैं, तो दोनों कांटा फेंक देते हैं. So all the upadhis in this world, whatever upadhi helps us max to come close to that I am servant of Krishna, we will take that upadhi and use it perfectly in Krishna's service. Right? So if somebody becomes proud of I am a brahmachari, then he is misutilizing that upadhi. Rather than helping that upadhi will drown him. So that upadhi is there to help him to come close to that humble servant of Krishna.
Like Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, I am not sannyasi or brahmachari, but he acted as a perfect sannyasi.
Yeah.
But when we see from the perspective being a servant of Krishna, saying oneself, he may have preached to women also. He may have preached to women because as a servant, we can preach like that.
Yeah.
We want to give them Krishna consciousness. But again, that identity is prohibiting us to do that.
Yeah.
So then we are identifying with that identity because of we are not performing certain act.
That is very nice, and that is a protection. Because our ego is still contaminated. In this situation, that protection is needed of that identity. If that identity goes off, we will be lost. We will be destroyed. So although it is unnecessary, but now it is giving me protection. So I'll use that protection.
So in our case, the present identity is protect us.
Yes. It's like that. So this saffron is not going to take me to spiritual world, but it will help me to remain pure and I kind of my consciousness is like fixed. So that's why I put it.
Not to identify with the saffron.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, it is very higher.
Yeah, it's very higher. So let us forget about that, not identifying. That will come later. First to identify nicely. First to understand what is right way of identifying, what is wrong way of identifying. That is sufficient. So, because otherwise there is one devotee was sharing that he was coming by train and then he saw that somebody looking very kind of known face. And then, because he was a saffron devotee, senior devotee. So, Radhesham was doing this. And he saw that this person looks very similar. He was also in saffron. And inside, one very beautiful lady was sitting with whom he was talking. So he said, and then that person also recognized both were in B.Tech in one hostel. And both were ITs. So then they were happy to meet. So then he asked, what are you doing? He said, I'm in ISKCON now. So then Radhesham asked him, what are you doing? He said, I'm in some organization. So then Radhesham asked, are you like taken sannyas or what? He said, yes, I have taken sannyas. Then he said, why you are sitting with this lady? He said, I am spirit soul. She is also spirit soul. So both can go equally to fixed like that. So this is what happens when that identity is not understood and then used. So this is a misuse of that identity. That one feels that I am soul. So it's better to understand that I am not on that level. Better to be on my level. I still remember His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was giving class in Mayapur. Mayapur giving class is always the challenging. There are so many people sitting there bombarding with they just see you or something like that, and then for Jankotik, so then the verse was that how one should be away from association of Matajis. Something like that. So he spoke that how the Matajis are like very destructive force, and it has to be cautiously we have to think like that. And then for a man, Mataji is like the fire butter principle he talked. And then he said that the way when we see Mataji, then we should understand that they are just bag of flesh and bone. Then why to be attracted? So he spoke like that in the end when he asked any questions. When Mataji raised the question, he said, Maharaj, you said that person should see Mataji as bag of flesh and bone and mucus and blood and things like that. Can't you see them as Vaishnavis? So it was a very loaded question. So Maharaj said, I am not on that level. So it is better for me to see them as bag of flesh and bones. So they are too bad. So yes, they are Vaishnavis, but if I am not on that level, why should I imagine that I am on that level to see them as Vaishnavis and then feel, and having so many bad intentions inside. So, if I am contaminated, let me see them as contamination and be away from it. So it's like that. Yeah. Yes.
Thanks. Rohit, can you elaborate the first sentence of purport? First two sentences. Lord is the supreme seer because only his glance did the material energy become active for cosmic manifestation. And second is, at that time the seer was there, but the external energy over which the glance of the Lord is cast was not for it.
This is where?
This is purport.
Okay. The Lord is the supreme seer because only by his glance did the material energy becomes active for cosmic manifestation. That is understood? At that time the seer was there, but the external energy over which the glance of the Lord is cast was not present. That was dormant inside him. It has not yet manifested. It was an unmanifest situation. He felt somewhat insufficient, like a husband feeling lonely in the absence of his wife. So they were dormant within the Lord. It was not yet manifested. So it's like that.
So where who is seer here? Seer was there.
Seer means the Lord.
Jiva.
No. Bhagavan. So Drashta is Bhagavan. Drashta is the Lord. And seen is the object which is subordinate. Okay? Go next. We are on 24th only. ठीक है, क्या करना है कल का?
I was thinking, last week.
हरे कृष्णा। तो रूम रहने में कॉल मत करो। क्या है कि 15